Morning everybody, it's Nick. I hope you're all well and safe. I wanted to vlog today on all of the events that have brought to our attention the endemic, systematic racism that we're seeing. A subject I believe many of us do find difficult to talk about because there is a real fear of saying the wrong thing, of getting it wrong, and therefore, thinking that you become, part of the problem rather than the solution. But the reality is, I think all it takes for evil to prosper is for good men to do nothing. So I think saying nothing is probably more dangerous, and staying silent just doesn't help. Now, I think we all know that there are some horrific abuses that go on in this world all of the time, every single day of our lives. And that includes racism, prejudice, discrimination, a lack of humanity, abuse, the list could go on. And this has been really, really forced very firmly and very, very correctly into our face, because things need to change, and they've always needed to change. And I think that if we say nothing, then we have no chance of changing things. So we have to say something, and we have to do something. And just because the wrongs in our world seem so overwhelming at times, that is no reason not to do something, because it is always something rather than nothing. The small things, they all add up. And one of the things that I am heartened by is seeing how much outrage and hurt and passion and motivation there is. And that says to me that there are a lot of people that absolutely want to stand united and want to make this world a better place. And I've read lots of different perspectives on it. And I think where I've ended up is that for me there's one race, and it's the human race, and that's it. And our culture, our background, our faith, our religion, the colour of our skin, they're just the beautiful tapestry of life. They're just the wonderful, beautiful way we can all bring our nuances and our curiosity and our different understandings and experience together. But the foundation is that we are all human beings. We are all one human race, full stop. A lot of people might say, that I have white privilege. I've read various different definitions of what that means. I know that I feel safe as possible in my life. I know that I have not suffered because of prejudice or discrimination. I have not been abused physically, emotionally, mentally, sexually, and I don't live in fear of that. And I know that I've had many opportunities to grow as a person and to be able to create a life for me and my family. I know that. And somebody might say, well, that's white privilege. And what I would say is, I think that is a basic level of humanity that should be afforded to all. And if it's not, then we need to right that wrong, because I think everybody should feel safe in their home. And I think everybody should feel that they have an equal chance to make the best out of the life that they are given. And I think people should feel trust in a justice system that will do the fair and equitable thing. And if they don't, we have a problem, and we need to do something about it. And that abuse and that discrimination and that prejudice and that ignorance takes many, many different forms, from the systematic abuse of women, child abuse, the slave trade, humanitarian abuses. The list could go on and on on, and none of it's fucking right. It was never right, and it will never be right. And I think that there are an awful lot of good people out there from across the world, from across all types of religions, faiths, beliefs, that are just part of this human race. And we need to come together and just really focus, I think, on the fact that there's just some really basic stuff that need to be in place. And that's not easy, and it is a big job, but that doesn't mean that we shouldn't face up to it in whatever way we can. Whether that's lending our voice to people who have been silenced, whether that's giving them the ability to share their story, whether that's taking an action when we see something that is not right because it's prejudicial or discriminatory, whether that is stepping in to protect somebody when they need that protection, whatever it may be, in whatever small, medium or large way, it doesn't matter. Whether that is just speaking out, whether that is just trying to share that education and that humanity and that love, because, you know, we're one human race, united we stand, divided we fall. And it is not fucking acceptable in any way, shape or form for any human being, no matter what the reason, to suffer any form of abuse simply because somebody has made a bollocks judgment on where they've come from, or the colour of the skin, or their religion, or anything that sets them apart from what this other person thinks should or shouldn't be normal. Because there is only one normal, there is only one thing, and that is one human race, humanity. And what makes humanity tick is love. It is not turning on each other and hurting each other. And I don't know as I sit here right now what I will do. I don't have this massive plan, but I know that when I will actively look to put whatever it is I can put out there to do my bit to change those, to right those wrongs. And I just hope that if all of us, and I believe that if all of us keep doing that, we can do it. So I'm sending you all lots of love. I hope everybody is staying as safe and well. And yeah, take care. Bye.